Hey everybody, we're back to step number 5 in the wedding sales machine process. Man, we're getting to the home stretch. We're getting to the meat and potatoes. We're getting into the spot that is actually going to produce some incredible results for you. Good job getting this far. By now, you should have set up your mind to commit to this process. You should have leads and links everywhere. You should have built a value ladder, and you have created a contact form on your website, on social media, everywhere that is leading to your website. You've created that contact form so that your client can fill out a date for you and make a request based on, what they see from your pricing and your packaging and those kinds of things. And so I am excited to share this next part with you. So what we're going to do, it's not going to be a super long module today, but it will be kind of extensive on your end as you integrate this into your process. And so what I want to give you is just an example of what I do in this process. You might be using a different CRM than us. You might be using, different softwares, those kinds of things. But I just wanted to give you an idea of the way we do it here at Ozark Mix. And that way it might spur on some thought processes as you develop the copy, as you develop sort of what your next steps are going to be when you send your client your availability. Okay. So what this step is, you guys, is it's your email back to the client that you are available. Okay. So when you're responding to someone, they have come to your website, they have clicked on your inquire button that I've, talked to you about. And now you are following back up with them. A couple of things let me say to this is, you want to do this in a timely manner. Timing is everything in our business, right? Our clients, they're getting information from so many different people. And if you stand out to be the person that responds quickly, then, it's just a positive experience for them. So don't wait on this. They've gotten an auto response from you with, a video and then, hey, a couple of next step items. But this email that you're giving them is going to be an exciting thing for them to open up. They want to see if you're available and so on and so forth. So don't keep them waiting. Make sure that you do this in a timely manner. So here's what I recommend that this email looks like. Okay. First of all, what we do with Ozark Mix is, we've got an idea of most of the venues around our area. Now, we don't live in a huge metropolis. Some of you guys may live in a huge place where there's lots of venues, and this may not be possible for you to do, but for us, we have experience with pretty much every venue in our area, even different cities that are a couple of hours away. We've been there, right? And so what happens on our contact form is there is an address of the venue part. And so they fill that out. So before I respond to the client, I look up the address that they are getting married at. And, 9 times out of 10, I've got some information about that venue, and I've been there personally. And so I know the experience. I get it. I understand. And so what I do is I get really excited, especially when it's a vendor or it's a venue of where we're on the vendor list of, approved vendors and those kinds of things. It just really helps. And so I personalize my email back to the client in this way. And this is the way that I recommend you do for your wedding sales machine. Is my first line is, hey, so glad that you reached out to us. We love blank venue. It's for us. There's a place here called the Garden Room. And if I notice that it's from the Garden Room, I'm like, oh my gosh, we love the Garden Room. I actually have a template email that has all of this information in it. So I highly recommend that if you're spitting out a bunch of emails. But in my CRM, I've got this, there's a little blank. So I go in and I fill it out. And I say, we love that place. What a beautiful place to get married. I particularly like this about that venue. And so you pick out what that characteristic is, but in all honesty, it's just a place for you to have just this personalized experience back to the client. So to where they know that this isn't just some system that's responding to them. This is you as a person, as a business owner. And so it just really sticks out. And so I say, oh my gosh, woohoo, so glad that you're getting married at this place. It's a beautiful place to get married. We love it. And then the very next thing that I've got, you guys, is, hey, I'd love to chat about your wedding day. And that to me is verbiage that is really sort of conversational. And I highly recommend that in this email back to your client, that you keep it conversational, because you just don't want to get too pro on them right away. You want to keep this very, very conversational, like, hey, let's chat about what you have going on. There's a customer mindset there. There's a psychology at play where the client wants to be your friend. And that's what you are. You're a guide, and they are the hero in this journey, right? They're the ones who are getting married. You are a guide to help this hero make it to their wedding day and have the best day possible. And so, hey, let's chat about your wedding. That's my next line. I actually give it a double space. Boom, boom. Let's chat about your wedding. I would love to. And this is the way I go about them scheduling a call with me. I simply say, and I've said this ad nauseum at this point in this process, I simply give them a link that says, here's a link to set up a 15-minute video call with me. And it's hyperlinked inside of the email, okay? The next line says this. It says, I will send you a proposal immediately after this phone call based on our convo. I don't say conversation, I say convo. For some crazy reason, it's like I'm keeping this personalization in there. Because I abbreviate it, convo, I feel like it's better. Maybe you get a different verbiage. But for me, it's, hey, after this convo, I'm going to send you an immediate proposal. And I really look forward to visiting with you as soon as possible. Warmly, best, all the best, congratulations, however you want to send that off. And then I send it, Russ, and then put our signature on there. And so, listen, it is really crucial in this point that, again, you make this email extremely conversational, you guys. You want it open-ended. You want them to know that you have familiarity with the venue. Like, that's super important to couples. And because you have familiarity with the venue, again, you put their mind at ease. So this is a nuance play that I really feel strongly about. I really think, I don't have a ton of data behind this, but in my mind, if people are open in this email, which 80 to 85% of our couples do, because we voice it in this way, is, hey, looking really forward to it. You made a great choice. Reassure them that the venue that they are getting married at is a venue that is awesome. Reassure them of that. Even if you've had a bad experience at that venue, and you can, get yourself pumped up. A lot of this is selling yourself, right? And so ease their level of anxiety by letting them know that you're familiar with this process, that you're familiar with this venue. And I can promise you, it's gonna give them the confidence that they want to have a conversation with you. At minimum, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, at least this person has some experience with this venue. I can ask them some questions and really get to know them and understand the process more. Again, that's what you want, because you want them to trust you. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some time. I have my scheduling tool that I want to show you really quick. But then the rest of this week's worth of work is really on you to craft this email in a way that feels like your voice. Okay. Again, I have this set up in a template within my email software that, I fill in just these minute details, but all the rest of this has already been scripted. So I just send it right away. And I send them a link to this particular schedule. Now, again, I've told you guys in the past, we use Honeybook. I've been using it for a long time. I love it. All the things. You guys may use something different, but this is money to us. So let me show you what our back end sort of looks like. This is the way that I schedule these. And, you can kind of see here, to the very right is consultation with Russ. And so that's the one that we're going to jump in here and edit. So just so you know, like, here's what we're looking at. You know, I can edit this. I have all this information here: wedding location, phone number, guest count, couples names. No one ever fills that out, to be honest with you. But here I can set, you know, when this is the link. So when they get, you know, alerts about this, so I'm not ghosted. So they show up, you know, they're sent an email an hour before the session. They're also sent one 24 hours before the session. So you can actually customize this within Honeybook, which I love. But here's what I really want to kind of jump in and just make sure that everybody, you know, sort of understands, is my schedule is determined by me. So some of you guys are like, okay, when do I schedule these? And because I do 15-minute consults, I've got this set to where, you know, I have 15 minutes prior and I have 15 minutes after blocked off so that I can prep a little bit for the call and so that I have enough time to send out a proposal, which we're going to talk about in the next couple of steps. But anyway, you can see right here where I can go ahead and edit my day. This is going to be totally up to you. For me, I like to do these in the middle of the day. I like to do them around the lunch hour because everybody's got 15 minutes to talk to me during lunch. Like, there's no reason. I think I shared this in our first part, is the reason why I do this is because originally I was doing sessions after work for people. So like 5:30 to 7. And it was really invading in some of my family time, to be honest with you. And my wife and I discussed it, and she was like, what if you just built it around the lunch hour? So it was totally like her idea of the reason why we started doing 15-minute sales calls. And I started doing that, you guys, and I had more people book because my schedule looked like this than ever before. So just so you know, lunch hour, amazing time to do consults. Okay. So you can see that this is when I do my consults. This is it. So I just wanted to show you guys what that looked like. And then of course I could set up a confirmation page and this is what it, you know, sends to them and that sort of thing. So I wanted you to see that. Let me make sure I can get my screen back. Okay. Awesome. Here we go. So that's really it. The rest of the time is up to you. I want you to really focus in on how you are going to respond to your client. What's it going to look like? What's it going to feel like? What's it going to sound like in your own voice? Feel free to copy me if you want to, but I want you to do this in a way of what would it sound like if you were just simply responding to someone over the phone or in person and they asked you if they had that date available and they were at this certain venue. Now, the last thing that I want to mention, you may be saying, well, Russ, what if I'm not familiar with that venue? Just say it's beautiful. That's it. You wouldn't be lying. I mean, people aren't going to be in business as a wedding venue if their place is not great. Okay. And you know, for the most part, you're already setting yourself apart to get couples from these venues that you really love because you're developing relationships with them. So it's probably not most of the time you're probably getting from venues that you know. But if you don't know this venue, just go on their website, take a look around, look at the venue, notice a couple of things, and then respond in a way that you feel comfortable with. But for the most part, I usually say, oh, that place is beautiful. I've heard so many great things. And in our experience, here's what it's looked like. So hopefully that's helpful. I know this is some work. Again, I asked you to commit to a couple of things, and this piece right here is super important. It's got to be conversational. It's got to be personalized. And then you've got to call them to action with a 15-minute video sales call. And I know you guys are going to get some folks on video, and then we're off to the races. And so our next module, after you get this set up this week, is actually me breaking down the sales call in step number 6, which is the final step in the machine. And then number 7 is a bonus where we're going to talk about what the proposal should look like. So you guys, I'm excited for you. Congratulations for getting to this point. Keep working. I can't wait to hear all the things that is happening in your business. Stay on the grind. We'll see you in the next module.